Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome in if you're new here and welcome back if you're a regular. Today we're making a massive family mansion. So this is built in Willow Creek on the 50 by 50 lot and we are making it for a family of 8. So this build is probably one of the biggest builds I've done in quite some time, especially one that's fully furnished. So it did take me like 2 days to do, but all was well. It was quite a fun build to do, so I do hope you guys enjoy. So the family who live here consists of 2 parents, mum and a dad, the mother's mother, so the kid's grandmother. They've got 2 older kids. One's a teenager, one is possibly still a teenager, but he's like about to turn into an adult, so he's got like, you know, more of an adult life. They do have a daughter who's a child, and they also have a toddler son and an infant daughter. So we have, how many children is that? 5? Yeah, we have 5 kids and 3 adults living here. So that is exciting. I absolutely love how this build turned out. I was a bit apprehensive when starting it because it was so massive, but I think it turned out really nice in the end, and I absolutely love the whole dynamic of this lot. I did end up including a double garage, which I used for a gym sort of area. We do have some cluttered stuff in there as well, a bit like an attic sort of thing, and we also have a pool. We've got like a pool house, we've got a stable, and it's just kind of got everything you could possibly want. The only thing I don't have in this house is a park, which, thinking about it, would have made more sense, but it's fine. My current sims I have in my legacy family have 3 horses, so I was kind of thinking along those lines because I just really like playing with horses in the game. I'm not too sure why, considering I'm not really interested in horses in real life, but in the game they're just my thing. I think it's because it's quite country vibes and I love country stuff. So anyway, so we're just working on the exterior at the moment. It did take me quite a while, not gonna lie. The actual footage of this would have probably been like 2 hours long, so the fact that we got it down to 36 and a bit minutes is pretty good. But I think this turned out really cute. I absolutely love the whole I don't know, I just love this build. It comes out so nice. I think when you start building, sometimes you're a bit like, not too sure whether it's gonna work, and especially because the roof was clipping, I was like, oh no. But it turned out really nice, and I absolutely love how it looks, and I have learned a couple of new build tricks this week. I've been building quite a lot of family homes, and I've learned a few tricks. I've been watching some fellow speed builders, and they've done stuff that I don't normally do, and I thought, well, you know, why not try it? So thank you to those people. But I think it is quite exciting sometimes just to watch other creators, and it's not necessarily that you're copying them. I don't like to see it as that. Like, that's why I make these speed builds, so you guys can see the tips and tricks I've used over the course of like how many years, 10 years, and I think it's really good to learn of other creators and just make it your own. So that is what we did. Not this particular build, but some of the ones upcoming. I completely made up this build. I did have a reference image as kind of like a guide, but I didn't actually use it. It doesn't look anything like the reference image, but I think it turned out really nice, and I particularly like the roof of this build. It's kind of a bit funky, a little bit different than my usual. As you can see, I did do the colour scheme off camera because it took me honestly about half an hour just to work out the colour scheme, but we got there in the end. I did also decide to include a conservatory on the side because it kind of felt like it needed something on this corner of the house. It felt a little bit empty, so I did include a conservatory. So the story behind this household is that the mum is a famous superstar, and she has this absolutely ginormous house. I kind of feel like maybe her husband joined her within her fame world, but after he met her, so she's kind of like, you know, the start of all of the luxury life, shall we say, and her children very much follow her. They're into music. They've got a whole stage room, if you will. We do have a little garden room in that conservatory, which is kind of like her hobby on the side. I feel like she is very much a green thumb, but she's also very much into singing, dancing, musical instruments, performing. I feel like they've also got like a music studio sort of vibe where they can record music, and it's just very advanced in this in this build. I absolutely love it though. I think that the landscape turned out really nice. I took my time with the landscaping because I really want to get myself better at landscaping. It's definitely something that I'm not brilliant at. I wouldn't say I'm bad at it, but it's not something I'm great at. So I did challenge myself to spend a little bit longer on landscaping, and I did use some debug stuff as well, which I don't normally use, which was quite nice. I've been trying to venture out and use different materials, but it's quite difficult sometimes because the what's it called, the debug section is so massive, so it does take quite a while. And for some reason I don't know how to filter properly on the like right hand side of the screen, you know, and you can like type in what packs you want or whatever. You can select debug, but mine's never seemed to work properly, so I have to manually go through debug, and that can take some time. So I don't really like filming when I'm going through debug because it takes a forever, so I tried to do some of it off camera, but I did film a lot of this build, and honestly it was a lot of fun. I kind of feel like sometimes when you do these massive builds it becomes extremely overwhelming because it's so massive, but I absolutely love doing the exterior. Whenever I start building, I love doing this part of the build, and then I get to the interior and I'm like, can I just make another house now? I think it's because I spent so long making shells that I've just kind of become like equipped to making exterior more so. It's not that I'm bad at interior, it doesn't spark my interest as much as the exterior, so anyway. I do find it funny though how quite a lot of people don't like doing the exterior. Granted, it is harder, so maybe that's why, but I think because I spent so long making base game shells and just focusing solely on the outside, it's kind of my favourite thing. And that is my biggest tip if you are a new builder, to attempt to make some base game shells. So you just make the outside and you make the floor plan of the inside. You don't do any furnishings, and yeah, I just think that really helped me as a content creator, as a builder. I just think that focusing solely on one part of building really helps. The same as if you make apartments. If you make apartments, you don't focus on the exterior whatsoever, it's solely interior. So it depends on what your weakness is, I suppose. Mine is definitely landscaping, and I'd say roofing, but I've got a little bit better at roofing. Also, apologies if the traffic is loud. My goodness, there's so many motorbikes. The one sunny day in September and everyone's out. Every dog and his duck, as my dad would say. But I definitely recommend making some shells if you are not so confident at exterior, because it definitely taught me a lot, and I think it's a lot of fun now, so maybe it'll spark your interest in the exterior a little bit more. But yeah, so we're still working on the outside. As you can see, it took me forever. I was very indecisive where to put the barn, and then I decided to put it on the opposite side as I had originally planned to, because I did want to include a pool. Now, as you guys know, we now have rounded pools. Now, I haven't made a massive pool yet, so this one was like, oh my goodness, and then I tried to make it narrower and it just kept disappearing, and I was like, what? So we did make the circle smaller. It turned out cute in the end. I think this part of the build is one of my favourite parts. I think the pool area is absolutely stunning. Can you imagine having your own private pool? Like, yes please. If I was famous or rich in any sort of way, I would 100% have a pool. Imagine, that'd be just like so chill. Also, if you do want to do angled tiles like I just did, you just press Ctrl F on your keyboard and you get angled tiles. I do end up changing the colours of the tiles, but that's how you get the like half angled one, you know what I mean. So that is what you do. I did go for a different colour for the, what's it called, like the, I want to say decking, it's not a decking, like the paving area. This is from one of the new kits. It's from the is it Riviera Retreat? I do believe it is, and I just think it's adorable. Also, complete side rant, I have found lately that quite a lot of the items in the newer packs don't appear in the game when you have to go into debug to obtain them. I don't know why. So the fountain that came with Riviera Retreat doesn't appear in the game, you have to go into debug, which I find very frustrating. Also, in For Rent, there is 2 teddies that come with the pack, but you cannot access them unless you use debug. And there was something else as well. Oh, Love Struck. There's a couple of Love Struck items that you can't access unless you go into debug, which I find very bizarre. My goodness, could the traffic be any louder? But yeah, I find that very weird why they've kind of like hidden them away and they're not like in the main part of the game. I don't know. I would much prefer it if we just had access to them, because then I forget about them. So anyway, just a little tip for you if you didn't know where they were. They're in debug. There's some like adorable little tiger teddies with For Rent, and I didn't know they existed until like 2 weeks ago. So go check them out. They're so cute. I don't think I included them in this build, but I do include the fountain because I eventually found it. As you can see, I was trying to make this like rockery area and then was like, yeah, no, that looks really bizarre. So I did change it and put in a pool house sort of thing. I didn't know what to put in the pool house. I don't even know if I did fill it in the end. I might have just put lights, and I honestly can't remember what I put in there. I didn't feel like it necessarily needed anything in particular. It was just kind of like a, you know, if you wanted to go inside somewhere and not just sit at the pool, I suppose. I don't know what pool houses consist of because I'm British, and let's be real, it's always raining, so I have no idea. But I did have a lot of fun with it, and I think the landscaping for this build turned out adorable. I absolutely love it. I did go for kind of like a really fancy hedging all the way around. I don't know why, but I'm happy that I did because it turned out really nice, and I think it's really pretty, so I do hope you guys like it. I went for kind of like a, it looks a bit like a maze, to be honest. But I think it's really pretty, and it did take me ages to place it down because I had to alt place everything, but I think it's really cute, and I just love the landscaping. Look how pretty it is. Can you imagine living here? That's what I was thinking the whole time I was building. I was like, imagine if you had like this much money that you could have your own like mansion, like, if only. But anyway, so I had to alt place this hedge in, which did take a minute, to say the very least, but I think it turned out really nice. I wish there was a way to kind of like, you know, drag this so you didn't have to individually place it, but alas there is not, so I had to individually place every single shrub, and yeah, it was kind of annoying, but it's fine, I'll get over it. But yeah, so I am just filling in the border. I wanted to make sure it felt quite enclosed because obviously I feel like maybe the mother is famous, and I wanted her to kind of like have her own private area and not like, you know, exposed to the public. So I tried to section it up a little bit and have it a bit more enclosed, shall we say, because I kind of felt like maybe she's got some crazy fans who are like, you know, not stalkers, but kind of stalkers, who are interested in what she's getting up to and her like massive mansion that she's got in Willow Creek in a town that is not necessarily, you know, known for being rich and famous, but there we are. This build also is part of my save file. If you guys are interested, I am in the process of making a save file, which will be available probably next year. Let's be real, it's going to take me forever to make, but I am in the process of starting that. Now, I did start it a while ago, but I wasn't really in the headspace to kind of focus solely on it, so I did stop it, but I have restarted, so stay tuned for that. There will be a lot of builds upcoming because I have lots of stuff coming out. I've got a lot of save file stuff, I've got a joint save file as well with my summer friends, so that'll be soon. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but of course building takes a long time, and it takes a lot of hours, it takes a lot of days, and it takes quite a lot of skill. So sometimes you're just not really in the mood to build because it's quite overwhelming sometimes to solely focus that intently on something, so it does take some time. But I do hope you guys are looking forward to it because I have lots of stuff coming up, and I also have just noticed today that The Sims have a Sims Creator Network program, which I am hoping to get to be a part of because that would be incredible, just to give you guys more opportunities as well within my platform. I think that'd be exciting, so I do hope you guys are excited. I hope that I can get in. But we are now just working on the what's it called, the barn area, shall we say. I didn't really know what to put on this side of the house. I wanted to kind of include like a kids area, but then I was like, you know what, I should probably just make it a barn. I don't know why I didn't include swings because that would have been adorable, and I probably should have put a tree house in because that would really fit this build, but I didn't. I mean, maybe I could include it before I upload it, but currently there is no tree house, there's no park, it's just kind of quite an adult build. Obviously we do have 5 children, so I don't really know why I didn't include more kids stuff, but I don't know, when I was building this I was just thinking that she's famous and she's got a lot of stuff that's kind of, you know, very fancy, and I kind of imagined her having horses, but now thinking about it, if she's got that many kids without mods then you couldn't have any horses, but anyway, let's just pretend that you can. I wish you could. I wish animals didn't count as like a place in the household, you know. That would be great, or at least if you could have like 8 people and 2 pets or something, that would be ideal. But anyway, so now moving on to the horse stable area. I think this turned out really cute. I was a bit concerned there wasn't enough space. Now it is a little bit small, not gonna lie. Ideally it would be bigger, but what are you gonna do? It's fine. I absolutely love the landscaping of this house in particular. I think this is one of my favourite landscapings I've done in a very long time, so that's always nice. I just think it turned out really cute, and the whole layout is quite nice, and I like that I sectioned up the garden. I think that's one of my favourite parts, because sometimes I struggle with landscaping, and I think what a lot of people do, it's not something that comes naturally. I think roofing and landscaping are probably the hardest parts of building, in my opinion. They're definitely something that takes time, and you know, every build is different, so every shape of the plot is different, and sometimes it is a little bit difficult to know what to put where, but I do think it turned out cute, and I really like that I sectioned it up, and I think it just made it feel a bit more realistic. So if you are new to landscaping, I highly recommend you kind of like section up the areas so it becomes more real. Like this section by here is kind of like a triangle shape, but I just think it looks really nice. So I'd absolutely love to know what you guys enjoy building the most, because lately I've been making these massive family homes and I'm really enjoying it, and it's something that I don't do as often as I'd like to, because I do often do apartments, which, don't get me wrong, I love making apartments, but there's just something special about creating an entire lot that was just like completely empty until you created whatever it is you've made. I just think it's really cool. So let me know down below what you guys enjoy building the most. I think my favourite are probably family homes and apartments. My least favourite, what's that going to be? I mean, community lots are difficult, possibly like a restaurant, but then I say that restaurants can be quite fun, same as nightclubs. I think nightclubs are quite fun to make, but I'm not much of a community lot kind of gal. I don't know many people who are, to be honest. I think it's definitely something that's less popular amongst simmers, but I still enjoy them every now and again, but it's just not my favourite, you know? So I am just really excited to show you guys all of the houses that I've been making, because I've got a lot of content coming out. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I am working on a save file. I'm currently working on 2 save files actually, one with a couple of my simmer friends and one by myself, but I haven't really started the one by myself very far yet, so I'm going to be working on that the next few months, but this is one of them, so I do hope you guys are excited for that, because it will be available. I say this, it'll probably be available next year at some point, because let's be real, it's going to take me forever to make everything. I have to make every single house on every single lot, and I own every single lot, and willed even, and I have to make the families for it, so that is like a lot of effort, which is exciting, and I'm really looking forward to making my like entirely new world just with my build, which I think will be incredible. And it's something that I haven't done before. I've obviously, you know, built for years, but I think making your own save file is just something so personal, and it's something that everyone can enjoy. And if you guys like my builds, which I assume you do if you're watching, then you can have a whole world just filled with my sort of style, and I just think it's a really good idea. So that is what I'm going to be working on the next few months into next year. But yeah, I think it's quite a fun winter project, because as you guys know, winter in the UK is very bland, and winter just lasts for like half a year. So, you know, we're in like the first month of winter in my brain. I know it's not literally, but I feel like it is. So, you know, I think from September to maybe the beginning of March is what I class as like my hibernation phase. So I'm having this as a project through those months, because I'm not a fan of winter. I don't like it when it's dark and cold and just, I don't know. I say that, I don't like it when it's hot either, but that's a British gal for you. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to having a fun winter project, and you know, just a distraction from the miserable weather. But I'm also looking forward to doing cast, because it's not something I've done in a very long time, and honestly I haven't done gameplay in, oh goodness, maybe like a month or 2. That is insane. I used to play my Legacy family every single day. I'd build all morning, and then all evening I'd play the family, and I'd make reels and little stories for them, and I haven't played them in so long. I think it's because the current family that I'm playing is like on like generation 9 or 10 or something, but I need to make them a new home, and I have just been building just for the fun of it, and rather than like, you know, a specific home for a specific family that I've got in mind, which is silly. I should just make them a home since I'm building anyway, but I don't know, that's why I haven't played. But I really need to get back into it because I miss making my reels, and they're like little stories, and I know you guys like them too. But yeah, so I need to get back into gameplay because I've missed it so much. I think it's funny, you know, sometimes well, myself anyway, I build for like months and I won't play. I won't do cast, nothing, just building. Other times I won't build forever and it'll just be gameplay and cast, which is just, it's funny how it works. And I think when you do one for too long, it really makes you miss the other one. But I just can't seem to get back into it. I haven't even tried. I say this, I haven't even tried yet. I just can't stop building. And then when it comes to, you know, starting up my legacy family, I'm like, I really want to play, but I've got so many build ideas that I cannot relax enough to be able to play, which is really annoying. So I need to, like, you know, just let myself play for a bit. I think that's the thing with being a content creator though. You turn Sims into work, is what I meant to say. So as much as, yeah, of course it's a game, of course there's a load of fun, and you know, it's amazing that this can be a career. Don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful, but it also makes it into a job rather than like relaxing time, which is good and bad. There's pros and cons to it, and I think that one of the biggest things is just not being able to stop making content, which is great, and you know, it's good for your channels of whatever on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you post on. It's really good for that, obviously, but I think when it comes to just having some downtime, it doesn't really exist anymore, and that is my struggle, and I really need to just relax and allow myself to actually just play the game. So I'll hopefully be able to do that soon, and I think making reels with my like gameplay and families makes it easier for me because I still feel like I'm being productive. I know it sounds really weird, but I know some of you guys will understand, so that's where I'm at. But anyway, moving back to the build, we're currently working on the lounge area. Now my only thing is, I often keep all of the wallpapers the same colour, but I like to have feature walls. Now this wall is kind of a bit odd, but I think it works quite nicely, so I do hope you guys like it. I went through kind of like I don't even know what you'd call this, I don't know what style it is, but I think it's really nice, and it's something I haven't done before, so, you know, why not? I am so excited for tomorrow, guys. The 2 new kits are out tomorrow. The storybook nursery kit and the artist studio, which is basically the 2 things I love most, babies and art, so like thank you. So I'll be probably making content with that tomorrow, but it'll come out Friday because it'll come out at 6 PM my time, and I usually upload by then, so it'll be a Friday thing. But I hope you're excited. I'm probably going to do an apartment with it, to be honest, because it'd be much easier to kind of, you know, focus solely on those items. I think it'd be fun. But the nursery one looks so cute, and I'm so glad we finally got some extra toddler beds, because we haven't had a toddler bed in, honestly, like since Eco Lifestyle, was it? I don't know which came first, but Werewolves and Eco Lifestyle are the last 2, I think. I like Eco Lifestyle one, but Werewolves is a bit strange, so I don't usually use that one, but I'm looking forward to new content because I build every single day, so having extra items is always a win, and the fact that they're only £5 or like $5 or whatever, I think is brilliant. And I know a lot of people don't like them, but I actually really like them. I think it's a good way to include new content without having to make an entirely new pack, so they can kind of like fire out more kits, which I think is a good idea personally. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing with those kits because, like I said, I build every day, so having any new content is honestly a bonus. But they look really cute. You know, I'll buy every single kit, but when it's something that I'm actually genuinely looking forward to and have wanted for a while, then obviously it's more exciting, so that'll be fun. I'll probably make a room or something to go up on Instagram, so stay tuned for that. I usually post a like room build on day of release, so we'll see, but I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, but I'm definitely going to make an apartment for Friday. I don't know what I'm going to build tomorrow. I'm in the process of making 2 houses on 1 lot. I've done 1.5 of them. I haven't finished the second house, but it's in progress. It's going well. I think it looks really cute. I'm trying to like enhance my building skills and kind of, you know, just go for a lot of different layouts of homes, I suppose is a correct way of explaining. But it's going really well, I'm really enjoying it, so that's the main thing. But anyway, back onto the build. I keep going off track, but this particular room is not my favourite room, but I think it has the most personality in it. Like I said, the mother is famous and she has a lot of stuff. She's got a lot of fame things, that's how she can afford this absolute mansion, and I just think it's really cute. This room I then turned into a stage. Now, when I was little, I say this, I'd still want it now, but especially when I was younger, this was like the dream. I wanted my own theatre so badly, or I wanted to convert my garage at home into like a dance studio. My dad was like, no. You probably would have if I was like really serious, to be honest. But yeah, I wanted my own like music room and dance studio and the theatre, and I used to, at my nan, she's got like a big open space in her lounge, and I used to pretend it was the theatre, and I'd make these fake tickets that were like in my sparkly pens, and one of those things that I don't know whether your grandparents have, but at Christmas time where it's like a tiered kind of like plate. I don't know what it's called, but you know the ones you can put like afternoon tea on it sort of vibe, or little cupcakes that go like gradually get smaller as it goes up. I hope you know what I mean. Well, anyway, she used to put like sweets on that, and like celebrations, like Christmas sweets, used to have that on whatever that thing's called, and I used to go around to my mum and my nan and be like, do you want any sweets? So it was good for them. And then I'd put on a show, I'd sing, dance, usually dance. I was a dancer when I was little, I absolutely loved it, but no, as I got older it turned into singing, so I just think that it's such a fun time, and it just gave me inspiration for that room. And yeah, so anyway, moving on to the upstairs. Like I said, we do have 5 children, so this is a teenage girl's room. I kind of imagine that maybe she was around 15, so she's not like a young teen, but she's not like, you know, an adult yet. She's still trying to figure out who she is. I kind of feel like her room kind of really gives off that vibe. I think it's, you know, absolutely stunning, but I don't really feel like she really knows who she is yet. She just knows that she is quite a girly girl, but I don't know. I don't think she knows what she wants yet, and that's completely fine. I certainly didn't know what I wanted at 15. It's funny, isn't it, when you're like a teenager, you really think you're grown up. I remember I had a boyfriend when I was 15, and I thought I was like, you know, an adult, and then looking back I'm like, you were literally a baby, and like you had no idea what true love really was. But it's such a funny part of growing up, and like a part of life, and I don't know, I'm grateful for those times, and I'm really glad that I've moved on from them as well because I would not want to be back there. I think it's funny though, I was thinking last night how, you know, life works out and everything happens for a reason. I know that's like really, really cringe, but it's so true. And, you know, my first ever boyfriend cheated on me. Poor little young Laura. But then if he didn't, then I probably wouldn't have gone to the school that I did and did performing arts, because I would have probably stayed with him. So I did performing arts and I met my best friend there. Unfortunately, we're no longer friends. However, he did introduce me to one of his friends from school, and now that is the guy that I'm engaged to. So, you know, funny things happen, and you don't realise it at the time, but, you know, many years down the line you realise that it was all worth it, and I am so grateful that I did get cheated on. And that's such a weird sentence. And, you know, in school I went through a lot of stuff in school. I didn't get the best grades, and I probably, you know, if I had got good grades, maybe I would have stayed in that school. It was a terrible school, it really was. It wasn't, but it was just like, it felt like prison to me at the time. I mean, it was pretty bad, to be honest, but I then went to college and it was so much better. So, you know, even if you don't get the grades you want, or, you know, you're with someone who's a bit of a douchebag, everything works out, trust me. I went to a great college, did performing arts, I was on stage all the time, I was the lead in one of the shows for Cabaret, I was Sally Bowles, the lead girl, and it was just such an incredible time. And I also met my fiance through it. So, you know, everything happens for a reason, and just don't lose faith. If people are mean to you or you're going through a rough time, I promise you it will pass. And, you know, I know a lot of people who message me at the, like, more, not the beginning of the year, but start of summer, I suppose, saying how they were going through their exams, and, you know, my videos were their distraction. So I hope you're all having a good I would say summer, but it's the end of summer now. But I hope you're all happy now. I hope you're all doing things that you're excited for, and maybe, you know, maybe you're not in secondary school, high school anymore, maybe you've moved on to college, but I hope you're all doing well if you are listening. And, you know, just know that grades aren't everything, and if people treat you badly, you will 100% find better people in the future. So yeah, anyway, that's my life advice for today. Back onto the build. Like I was saying, we do have 5 kids, so we have now done 3 of the bedrooms. The teenager, like I said, is around 15. I kind of imagine that his son is around 19, 20, but he still lives at home. I kind of think that he's got a girlfriend, and maybe, you know, they're trying to move out, but life's expensive as anything, so they're trying to find their way to get a starter home together. And he's still living with his family though, you know, because life's so expensive. But anyway, now moving on to the grandmother's room. I tried to keep this room pretty simple. I kind of felt like she helps out a lot with the little kids because the mum is busy working all the time. And, you know, we do have a toddler little boy and we have an infant girl, so that is a lot of work. I kind of imagine that maybe the dad is a stay-at-home father as well, but the mum's like, you know, the main... You allowed to say breadwinner these days? That sounds like really offensive, whatever the word is. She has the main income, shall we say. I don't know what's allowed anymore. Are you allowed to say that? Anyway, so this is the final bedroom. This is the child's room. Now this room turned out way cuter than I anticipated. This is probably my favourite room in the house. I didn't really have like a specific character in mind for who was like the main person of the storyline. I try to do that sometimes, it just makes it easier, but I feel like this room is really giving like main character vibes, in my opinion. This wallpaper is stunning. Why have I never used it before? I mean, I probably have, but like a long time ago. But anyway, I did include a lot of stuff in this room. I just wanted to make it feel very kid friendly. I've been really going like full force on the kids' rooms lately because I just think they look so cute and I just really like them. So I hope you guys enjoy them. But yeah, I can't believe I've been talking for half an hour. Oh my goodness, you're probably sick of me by now. But I hope you guys are enjoying these builds. Let me know down below which room is your favourite. I always love to know. I think this is my favourite room, or maybe the teenager's room, I'm not too sure, but both of them. Any room that's pink is usually my favourite, which is kind of ironic because, like I say in most of my videos, I'm not too fussed on pink in real life, but in The Sims it's my favourite colour. But anyway, I am going to end the voiceover here for today, guys, because I have been rambling on for some time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow with another speed build, whether it be an apartment or a house or whatnot. I'm not too sure. Maybe it'll be the 2 houses if I finish it. We'll see. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I appreciate you all so very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend, turn on the notification bell. I appreciate it very much. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another speed build. Thank you for watching. Bye, lovelies.
Headlights on the highway. If you only knew, being back here always makes me think of you.